Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about inconsistencies that I saw in season 3 of 13 Reasons Why. Some of these are like a little bit more serious and some of them are a little bit nitpicky. This should be a short video because I don't have too many notes on this. I made 2 other videos about 13 Reasons Why. Both of them are like over 50 minutes long, so it's definitely not going to be that. It's going to be more like 10 minutes at most, hopefully. Yeah, let's just get into it. First, I want to talk about the Hillcrest boys. So as we know, Bryce moves to Hillcrest after he leaves Liberty High to kind of get away from everything. But like their attitudes towards Bryce is so contradictory to their actions at the homecoming dance. And what I mean by this is that the same boy that confronted Bryce and was like very much against Bryce raping Jessica, he was the same boy that grabbed Jessica from behind at the homecoming dance. So like it doesn't make sense because these Hillcrest boys at the start, like I was rooting for them because they were very much against Bryce and what he did, but then they showed similar actions towards the girl that Bryce raped, which just doesn't make sense to me. It's just so stupid and it kind of defeats the purpose of like the boys hating Bryce for being an asshole when they did. Obviously not as bad, but still horrible. Like it. I don't understand. Next I want to talk about like the whole storyline about like Zach never being able to play football because of his injured leg. Now I want to preface this by saying I'm not a doctor. I don't have a medical degree at all. When 13 Reasons Why came out like last year, I was seeing a physiotherapist for like my back problems, and we were both talking about 13 Reasons Why because we like were both interested in the show, and like I was kind of worried about bringing the show up to him because I was like, oh, no one likes 13 Reasons Why anymore. I don't want to get cancelled by my physiotherapist. But then he was just randomly was like, have you seen 13 Reasons Why? And I was like, oh, thank God. And he was telling me that like based on what he saw in the show and like his own like expertise being a physiotherapist, he was saying that Zach's injuries would have healed in a couple months. So it just like made no sense to be so angry towards Bryce and like almost beat him to death, because first of all that just made his injuries worse. So now he probably won't be able to play for a longer period of time. And again, I'm not a doctor, physio, whatever, so I don't know how long Zach's gonna be out of the game. What I do know is that if you're like kicking someone to the ground with that same leg that you broke or that Bryce broke, that's why Zach was so mad at him. And I get it because, you know, even though the injuries would have healed in a couple months, those months were when like football scouts were looking at football players, and obviously Zach wouldn't have been like looked at by these scouts because he wasn't able to play, but surely like the coach would be able to write a reference or something like that. And because Zach is captain, that would surely account for something, right? Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense that he made his injuries worse when he could have just prevented it and just like spoken to Bryce and been like, hey, you ruined my life and you're a piece of shit and you're gonna pay for this, instead of like literally almost beating him to death and just leaving him out in the river. Next I want to talk about like the whole like, you know, mystery that like Bryce was missing, but we all knew that Bryce was dead because of like the promos and trailers and stuff, and it was like literally inescapable because one, Netflix likes to only promote like their 2 main shows, 13 Reasons Why and Stranger Things, so we never get to see like promos and trailers of actual good shows like Designated Survivor, who got cancelled because no one watched it because there was like no promotion for it. And maybe it was only inescapable for me because I follow like a couple actors on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, so it kind of like defeated the purpose of making us like all wonder where Bryce was, because like we already knew he had been murdered because of the trailers, and I hate spoilers, so like I understand why the actors and stuff promoted it. But next I want to talk about the police not like caring heaps about the information that Arnie gave them. So Arnie like accused everyone of being horrible people. Like she said that, you know, Justin was a drug addict, and that the false alarm at Spring Fling about Tyler bringing a gun to school wasn't actually a false alarm, and that Alex, Deputy Standal's son, Arnie is like talking to Deputy Standal this whole time, and Deputy Standal doesn't seem to care about like any of this, especially the fact that Alex, his son, had sex with a prostitute twice, and Arnie told him that. Like, I think he should have cared more than he did, because there was only like this one bit where like Standal was saying, okay, so you're telling me that my son had sex with a prostitute. But then like that was it. Next I want to talk about Alex confronting Justin at the movies. I saw someone else talk about this, I can't remember who it was. Alex suspects that Justin and Jessica were together, and this was when their relationship was a secret because the people at Liberty High are horrible, and accusing Justin of letting Jessica get raped when Bryce was the one that let Jessica get raped because Bryce raped Jessica. Anyway, Alex goes to the movies and Jess works at the movie theater, and Alex asks, like, Justin's about to go into the movies, and Alex asks what movie he's seeing, and he responds with whatever the movie is. And then Alex asks, so what's the movie about? Like, how would you know what the movie's about if you've never seen it? Like, if you're going to see a movie for the first time, then you probably wouldn't know what it's about. Like, sure, you might know like a little bit about, like, if you've seen the trailer of the movie before you go to see the movie, you might know. But if you're someone like me who doesn't like watching trailers, then you probably wouldn't know. So I can't remember who brought up the fact that, like, how would you know what movie he's gonna see if he hasn't seen it before? I just thought I'd bring it up because it makes no sense. Next, I want to talk about something super, like, nitpicky. And, like, I'm not even mad about it, I just thought I'd bring it up. There was a fight in episode 4 where Zach and Monty have a fight in the locker room. Everyone's in their towels and stuff, and they're all, like, fighting, and it looks, like, pretty heavy. Like, not violent or anything, it's just, like, there's a lot happening. How did everyone's towels stay on? Like, I'm not even mad about this, I just want to know how, so then, like, I can do this instead of, like, walking from, like, the bathroom to my room, just, like, holding my towels so that no one can, like, see anything. And if they do teach me how they, like, keep the towels on, will this work for girls as well, or is it, like, a boys only thing? Like, I just want to know. I just want to talk about, like, how all these kids have money, even if they're not rich. This is probably just coming from the perspective of someone who, like, has to pay rent and, like, do all that kind of stuff that comes with being an adult, which kind of sucks. But anyway, like, how do these kids, like, have the means and the money to buy alcohol? Like, alcohol's freaking expensive, and if you're under the age of 21, then, like, how do you obtain it? Like, maybe it's because all the actors that are playing, like, these 17-year-olds all look like 25 because they are 25 and over. And if you're like Ross Butler, I think he's like 29 or something. So maybe that's how, because they all look super old because in real life they're over the legal age. And how do they have the money to just, like, eat at Monet's all the time and, like, always get coffee from them? Like, does Justin give them all free coffee because Justin works there? Maybe this is me being super nitpicky again, but I just want to know. Lastly, I want to talk about the fact that both rapists are killed in the show. It's never confirmed that Monty was killed. It's like, in the English version, it just says that he was found dead. Apparently in the French version, it says that he was hanged, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe in season 4 we'll find out more. But, like, the fact that both these rapists die kind of defeats the purpose of the message this season. And, like, I've watched the Beyond the Reasons on Netflix, and they're basically trying to have these, like, redemption arcs for both the characters of Bryce and Monty. And, like, I get what they're trying to do, like, I truly do. Because, you know, like I've said in my other video, Bryce did monstrous things, but he's not a monster, because it showed that he was trying to change and trying to, like, change his attitudes towards, like, sex and all that kind of stuff, and learning more about consent. So, like, killing off both these characters kind of defeats the purpose of showing that, like, people like this in real life have the opportunity to, like, change and, like, redeem themselves and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I get that, like, maybe Jessica never would have, like, spoken to Bryce again, which is totally fair. It just doesn't make sense because we're meant to see that these people who did horrible things can go on and like try and move past what they did and like change their behavior and change their attitudes. But if they're both killed off in the show, then like how does this help in any way? I don't know, that just kind of annoyed me. That's gonna be it from me. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You've wasted 10 minutes of your life. But seriously, thank you so much. I hope everyone's doing well because this quarantine is very scary and it's a scary situation and it's a scary world right now. So I hope everyone's doing well, finding ways to cope if you're still working. Thank you so much for keeping society going. And if you're not working, then please stay inside. For people that are working who are unable to just like stay inside all day, only really go out if you absolutely need to, like if you're getting groceries and that kind of thing, or going to the doctors or the pharmacist and all that. Stay safe, look after yourself, have an amazing day. Bye.